I don't even know how to start this, honestly. If you go to a movie, you shut your mouth. It's everyone. I don't care what you have to say, and neither does anyone else in the theater. So we went to see Maleficent tonight. It was a pretty okay movie, if you were wondering. I don't remember like half of it though, because I was spending most of my mental energy trying to wait for the next time that these people behind me would say something so I could passively look at them or shush them. There's no real good way to actually tell them shut up without saying it. And there gets to be a point where that's really the only thing you can do. So let me start from the beginning. So we go sit in the movie, everything's fine. I always go into the movie thinking, maybe there's gonna be someone here that is gonna be really obnoxious and I have to, how am I gonna respond to that? And it didn't seem like there's gonna be that this time, but there has to be, right? So the movie starts, and it starts out in this kind of cool way where it shows the castle like usual, but it's not, something's not right. It's not the right shape. Doing the same Disney intro, but instead of the normal castle, it's this castle. It was kind of cool, but it took me a second. And as I'm thinking about, what's happening, figures to my side you start entering, and I don't really think anything of it. But I wish I had known what would happen. These people come and they're about to sit a couple rows in front of us. This is just details. But they decide they're not going to sit there. They're going to sit in the top row. And the funny thing now that I realize, when we entered the theater, I thought about sitting in the very back row because I thought if anyone comes in and decides they want to be really talkative, they'll be in front of us. It won't matter. I won't hear them as much anyway, depending on, I guess, how close they are. But if they're behind me, I'm definitely going to hear what they say. Sound is traveling from their mouths to my ear holes. So they decide not to sit there. They decide to sit basically right behind us. It's like a chess knight's move, sitting behind us in the rows, like up 1 over 2, okay? You follow me in chess? So they decide to sit. So it's basically like us here, we're represented by fists. And this is they're basically behind us. We're there, everyone's there, movie's starting, great. I'm gonna try not to spoil anything for people that haven't seen it because I like being a nice person about movies, because movies are great and people should enjoy them for what they are and not have anything else happen that this is lights. This is a power strip hanging from the ceiling. It's probably not the greatest idea. The beginning of the movie has Maleficent, and this isn't really a spoiler because this is in the trailers and stuff. Maleficent's supposed to be portrayed as kind of a good person, at least in the beginning. This is her history before we know her in Sleeping Beauty. So we're going through all this like struggle, and she's partaking in battles of nature versus human soldiers and knights and mystical special effects and magic, and there's all this cool stuff happening, and the whole time there's just this little like overlaid weird, like something's wrong with the surround sound, this speaker is freaking out over here, I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to listen more closely, and I realize it's these people talking because it gets all quiet, and I still hear this, and I look, and there's lit up this bright light on this woman's face. So two birds with one stone. She's on her cell phone and she's talking, and she won't shut up, and it's very, very irritating. And I think this was the point of my first shh, but let me rephrase it. It was more of like a shh. I didn't want to be mean about it. These people might hear the first shh and then kind of be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was disturbing you. I'll be more quiet now. That was not the case, however. I don't know if they heard me. And by they, I mean this is woman and a boyfriend or friend or something. I only saw her face for half a second as I turned. You know how you do that? The people are talking. Well, I hope you do it. I hope you are not the person talking. You like kind of give them that like kind of thing, But I wasn't really, you know, up in arms about it quite yet. It was just kind of, it was getting to me a little bit. So we continue with the movie. She gets to a point where it's very quiet in the movie. So it was something that would make sense to say in this situation if you were in your own house and or wherever you live, dumpster, these people, I don't care, but not a movie theater. A dramatic event happens to Maleficent near the beginning of the movie, and at the time of this event, there's a solitary, oh shit! And it was like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm not saying it because I'm not an asshole. This is when I start to get a little more, I don't want to say angry quite yet. It's just, you know, the things are going through me, like, why? Why does this always happen? Why is it every single time I go to the movie, there has to be someone talking. There has to be someone that I want to kick out of the theater. And it's like a curse. Like there's no way to go to a movie without this happening. This keeps happening. Every emotional moment they start talking. They start saying something completely unnecessary, complete bullshit. There's no reason for it. There's blah, 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 blah. And, oh, look at that. Oh, she's... And the worst part was that they were making predictions for no reason. So it was... Anytime there was something that you thought maybe something different was going to happen, or some plot line coming up that you thought maybe you could predict what was going to happen, they just say it. Just out of, this is going to happen. Oh, she's totally going to do this. This is my impression of this woman who really did sound pretty close to this. You know, my meter of how much I can take of this is going off the charts here, and I've shushed them like 5 or 6 times by now with increased volume each shush. I'm not a happy camper. So there's Sleeping Beauty, she has to get kissed by the prince, and this is not a spoiler because if you haven't seen Sleeping Beauty, and there's revelation, and these people just suddenly decide to predict what's going to happen, and it's very loud, and this very quiet moment in the movie. And so I turn and I say, please stop talking. And about that same exact, I'm pretty fed up with it by now. And this is the response I get. You're the only one talking. You're being very rude. No, it's kind of the opposite. Apparently, I'm told later that she had put up all the armrests and was just lying flat across 5 seats or so, probably she takes up. If you can get a physical image of this woman. I interrupt her bullshit with, you have been talking the entire movie, and it is ruining my experience. And she continued with her, you're the only one talking. You're the only one talking right now. No one else is talking except you. And me, but I'm fat, I'm an asshole, so it doesn't matter. So I sit back and I continue watching the movie. And I kid you not, 5 seconds later something happens and they say something immediately. By the way, the entire movie, in addition to this woman commenting on everything, you can count on it happening. The guy is going, At everything! The 3 fairy people that take care of her when she's growing up, they're doing the... It looks like it's supposed to be kind of a follow-up scene to that. Make it pink, make it blue, that whole thing. It doesn't even line up with events. It's just, wow, I am moved by the events occurring before me, and I must make it known. We're talking on the way back that there needs to be a person whose job in the theater, whose job it is to just stand there and watch movies and monitors the theater. And if people are being obnoxious and it's noticeable, that other people are taking note of it, watch out for things like people turning around or people going shh, things like that. First, they would ask them, please, you're being disruptive to other members of the audience, and I would like it if you please stop. And if they don't stop, then you kindly ask them to leave. I would do this job for free. I am very serious about this because... okay, let me clarify something. The occasional whispering comment, I'm fine with. I know people might not agree with this, but, say Tom Hanks walks on screen, and I don't know who Tom Hanks is for some reason. I lean to my fellow man and I go, is that Tom Hanks? And then they go, yeah. And I go, shh.
Sure.
I don't care. But if Tom Hanks walks on screen and you go, oh shit! Fuck you. Shut up. There was an incident when we saw, what was it? I think it was The Dark Knight at the Minnesota Mall of America. And there was a man on his phone pretty much the whole movie. And one of the tuba players decided to get up and ask him to please stop talking on his phone. And the response that he got was, hey, leave me alone, man. Mind your own business. He left the theater. The tuba player, he was so fed up with the guy after asking him, I think he asked him like 2 or 3 times to stop talking on his phone. Everyone was disrupted by it. You know, this is my Batman movie. You don't disturb my Batman movie, okay? And I watched the tuba player leave, and we all contemplated doing the same. We all contemplated following him because it was ridiculous. Why would you ever go to a movie without wanting, you know, I guess these people from Maleficent wanted to watch the movie, but not in a way that they should want to watch the movie. The only reason I ever go to a movie at a theater instead of waiting for DVD is because I want, you know, the big theater experience, the sound and the lights and the blah. I don't really care about 3D, but sure, occasionally, whatever. You know, I don't have that at home. I don't have a screen that's 60 feet wide. Maybe someday. But, you know, big blockbuster stuff, okay? You can't get that at your house unless you're my uncle, in which case, please buy me all that stuff, because that's awesome. I leave you with this moral. It's not really a moral, it's more of a message. It's a call to action. Don't talk during a movie. I don't care what you do at your house while a movie is on, while you're eating a sandwich or shitting. If you're at a movie theater, please shut up. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make more videos like these, because they're kind of fun. That's it. Goodbye.